Well, hi guys. Nice to see you this morning, or have you with us. Catfish, if you'd like to come on up, I've posted the link. Petraman, nice to see you. Well, I didn't get anywhere yesterday on my list. It was a wild and crazy day. Let's see who's here. Excuse me. Roxanne, good morning. 44 Mag Guy. Catfish Terry popped in first thing this morning. Nice to have you with us. Against the Flow. Bates and Genetics. J-Dog. Spent a little money with him yesterday. J-Dog does websites, so he's putting a website together for me. Oh, Hattrick Farm. Dan Flores. All the way from Sydney. Sun from down under. Nice to have you with us, Dan. All the way from Sydney. Oh, glory. Cat's out of the bag now. I know. Well, but you're going to be able to do this online. You know, you really have a great story. I'm going to brag on you a little bit. J-Dog is married to a delightful woman from the Philippines, and they're planning to move to the Philippines. And as soon as they can get past COVID, and you'll be able to do this business there. So that'll work just fine. Betsy, I ordered an incubator that's self-turner for like $70.
Excellent. How many does it hold?
Not many, a dozen.
Perfect. We don't
But
need any more.
that's chicken eggs, so you know.
Yep. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
And I also ordered the two Pangeas, the fruit and the bug. And I ordered a whole case of turtle food. They're real cheap. They're like the big jar, $3.
Oh my God. Excellent.
So I've got enough put on the shelf.
Okay.
We can sell them.
Perfect. Thank you.
Like button. There we go. Hitting the like button. Good morning, Paul C. Nice to have you with us. Patrick Polson. Hello. Excuse me. Catfish, where'd you learn to do all that clever stuff on your live streams? That's pretty nice. I'd like to figure out how to do some of that. What kind of turtle food do I use? Well, in truth, whatever I can get. I just ordered um, 10 jars of, I'll look it up here. Where'd it go? Well, there it is. A fluker. I use flukers. It's a good food and it's inexpensive. And you get a lot of it for a good bang for your buck. Turtles need more natural foods anyway. We do provide prepared foods, but they primarily get vegetables. We also have superworms and crickets always in stock. So we provide that as well. So they get kind of a varied diet. Roxanne trying to get her first coffee today. Here's mine. Got whoop, where'd it go? Right there. Iced coffee. A McDonald's iced coffee. Milk, no sugar. Petroman. Did you ever hear of using iron shavings in substrate for plants? Iron shavings. Well, actually, I've never heard of using it. I use iron oxide, which is the next best thing, literally. Iron oxide is oxidized iron. Um, when you put iron shavings in, it oxidizes and you get iron oxide. So, yeah, I'm using it. It just doesn't, it's not off the shop floor. It's in a bag. It's actually sold um, in garden supply centers as a supplement for primarily fruit trees. We don't grow a lot of fruit trees in our aquariums, but our plants have a very high iron demand. So, well, the other issue is that by putting iron oxide in, it plants can't take it up directly. It has to break down even more than that, and it takes a long time for that to happen. So there are other things that are in the supplements that have available iron, um, such that by the time they're depleted, the iron oxide is broken down and is available as nutrition. So I try to do as much of that as possible. I try to add as many items as will last for years in the substrate. There are not a lot of them, but there are some. Um, Calcium carbonate is one, and diatomaceous earth is another. Like I said, there are not a lot. Peat moss, curiously. Peat moss will last a very, very, very long time, for years in substrate. KCB. Hello, KCB. Playing around. You learned it playing around. Well, you're pretty good at playing around, Catfish. I'm real impressed. Patrick Polson, how's it going? Haven't been watching your stuff for a week. Been busy. You seem refreshed. A virtual hug. Well, thank you, Patrick. Yeah, I'm feeling better. I've been on this. Where'd it go? Oh, I've been on this energy renew stuff, and it seems to be doing something. I don't know. I seem to have a little more get up and go. This stuff. Mix some in with my coffee since I don't have water. That'll make it taste nasty. I put the energy stuff in my coffee.
Why would you ruin the coffee?
I know.
You're a good man.
Remarkably nasty.
Ah, yeah.
Sort of gives salt coffee a citrusy taste.
Ah,
Not at all desirable.
ah.
All right. Baits and genetics. They kind of eat anything. Turtles are little monsters. Indeed, they are. When they get big, they're big monsters. Betsy's here fixing the. I'm not gonna show your face. Let me just show what you're doing.
Really, what am I doing?
She's got
Setting up their
tortoises.
habitat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Putting a little hide in there
Yep. He wants to go in already.
and some water.
Get
We
their
have
greens.
ornate wood turtles and a Russian tortoise in there, and it really is a small tank for them. I need to get the guys to get a 20 neck cute.
Yeah.
I have a friend who has 30 of them, and I keep talking to him. That's the ornate wood turtle. I keep talking to him about giving up a few, and he can't do it. He can't. He
Most
can't
people
give
are-
up one.
Begging to find a home for theirs.
I know.
Oh,
I've got people begging for Russians,
wow.
and I can't get them to give up one. You'd think he's an MD. He's a doctor. Practices in Sarasota. Brings his son in all the time. They're in here 3-4 times a week.
Wow.
They just do the circuit. They hit all the pet shops
Oh my God.
a couple of times a week.
That's nice. And
Yeah,
he
it
does
is.
with his
Yeah,
son. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
But you would think that he would. The principle that I operate by is to share this stuff, to get it out, to be a distribution point,
Yeah.
so more people can enjoy it and get things into more hands and help them learn how to care for it. You'd think he would do that, but he's hoarding
His
Russian
knowledge.
tortoises.
Doctors can be strange.
Funny, I'm gonna tell him he's a turtle hoarder.
You can put that on Facebook.
Really?
Oh,
Thank you, Betsy.
you're welcome.
Sweet Betsy. Betsy is a volunteer. She volunteers here and for several other organizations, including her church, of course. She's the woman who worked at a very, very high level for the U.S. government for her entire career. Took an early retirement for the particular job she had. An early retirement was required. And I'm not supposed to talk about it, so I won't. But suffice it to say, what she is doing now is 180 degrees away from what she was doing for the government. She's a dearly sweet lady, generous, kind, sacrificial, never been married, lovely, lovely woman who I am absolutely blessed to have coming in. She takes care of all of our animals, not the fish so much, although she does a little with the fish, as all of the birds, the whatever reptiles we have. Jen likes snakes, so we don't do snakes. Some lizards, turtles. If we have mammals, she'll take care of them. It's a remarkable woman, and she's here every day for an hour. Sam Dam, hello, nice to see you. Thunder Aquatics, good morning. Swampy Acres Homestead is here. Nice to see you, Swampy Acres. And Logan's, hi, Logan's. So you had a good birthday yesterday, we all learned. Holly Gibbs, good morning, Holly. Nice to see you. I'm good. Thank you, Swampy. Nice to have you here. I was talking with Ro last night. She was on briefly. Lord knows she probably went back on in the middle of the night because she's not here. So I guess she's sleeping in again. KCB, I did a lot of water changes yesterday. I sent you an email with my GHKH levels. If one is 40% well water and one is about 80%, can I move the betta from the 40 to 80 or try to get it more equal? You can put the betta in straight well water. Let me explain this thing about pH, because it's really important to understand pH. pH determines the, I don't want to say barometric pressure, but the pressure of the water. A higher pH, the water has more minerals, more carbonates in it. It's heavier, and so it compresses more. As pH goes up, becomes more acidic, less and less carbonates and other minerals are in the water, so the water becomes lighter and creates less pressure. Osmotic. That's the word I was looking for. It's osmotic pressure. And the pressure is applied to the fish on a cellular level. So as that pressure increases, the pressure on the cells increases, and the cells are kind of squeezed down. As the pressure is released, it becomes less, the cells expand, and there's the difficulty. If you have a fish in hard alkaline water, where those cells are pressed together tightly, and you take that fish out of that water and put it into soft acid water, the cell structure will expand and fissure. Doesn't actually explode, but it fissures. It creates wounds, it creates openings, it tears, and the fish will die. If you've ever taken a fish out of hard alkaline water and put it in soft acid water and it died shortly thereafter, that's why it died. So, to err on the side of caution is to keep fish in hard alkaline water. Well water typically is hard alkaline water. I was talking with someone the other day from Australia who has tap water, presumably well water, although It might not be, it might be surface water that's soft and acidic. Soft acidic water for most fish is highly problematic. Even fish from the Amazon. Two things about that. Number one, the pH of the water in the Amazon changes throughout the year. When the water level goes down in the dry season, evaporation occurs and the water becomes more dense. When the pH goes up, becomes becomes more alkaline. It's, up and down is a relative term. When it becomes more alkaline, the pH will go to 7.5, maybe higher. In the rainy season, because rain is soft out and alkaline, the pH goes down to maybe 6.5. But it happens slowly and gradually. It doesn't happen in an instant. So the fish from the Amazon can live in both. And it's simply safer to keep them in hard alkaline water. Hi, Rohan. So there's the story of pH. Swampy says our well water is the best water I ever had in my tanks. That's absolutely right. Absolutely. Um, all of the water here where we are is deep well water. The municipal water is deep well water. Now I'm in the city. In the county, they occasionally will buy water from Bradenton, north of us. The Bradenton water comes off Bradenton Lake. It is soft, alkaline water. So I've had situations years ago. I don't know if they're still doing it, but 20 years ago, I couldn't keep fish alive in the water. Finally figured out what it was. They had been buying from Bradenton, and we were getting this soft acid water coming in right on top of hard alkaline water, and it was killing the fish. Oh, Gollymon is here, is he? Oh, dear God. Huh. I see Lee is here. Hi, Lee. Let me back up a little. Whitefoot says no sound. Well, there ought to be sound. Is there sound? Can you all hear me? Okay, now. Well, that's confusing. Good day, all, and lovely to be with you again, Sir Father Fish. I am alone today. Gollymon snuck out last night and is skulking around somewhere, as is his wont. That's WONT for those of you from Greenland. As is his wont to do so. So to do. It was a joy meeting, Gullymon, yesterday. That was great fun. J-Dog to Logan's, long time no see. Aha. They were both here together yesterday, creating chaos at Father Fish. We did have a good time, didn't we? I feel like there's something else I wanted to say about pH, but it escapes me. The main thing is to understand. Oh, I knew what it was. One of the admonitions about brackish water, about hard alkaline water. Brackish water is hard alkaline water. Not all hard alkaline water is brackish, but all brackish is hard and alkaline. One of the admonitions about hard alkaline water is that it does not control bacteria nearly as well as salt acid water. And that is true. Um, Very sophisticated breeders will hatch their eggs in salt acid water because it does control bacteria. But we have another way to control bacteria, and that is with a deep sand bed and a minimum of feeding. That controls bacteria. It allows beneficial bacteria to defeat bad bacteria. Logan is asking J Dog, what's your channel? And he says, I don't have one. Yeah, you do. Just if you don't, then YouTube is going to bump you. They're bumping everybody. I've lost nearly 100 subscribers this month alone of people who, I guess, are online without channels. I guess. pH changes throughout the day, Paul C says. Yeah, it changes minimally. If you've got a lot of carbonates in the water, it is not going to change very much. Sunlight can change it. Oxygen level, or rather CO2 levels, change it. Anybody who does CO2 injection is absolutely required to track pH because it has a substantial effect on pH. J Dog said they can take both of my subs to the channel I didn't know I had. Lee says, gotcha, Logan, and sub. There's the Elven Prince. Who is this? Thunder Aquatics says, thanks, Logan. I'm on phone right now, sitting at work watching Father Fish, looking out the window of the 35th floor of the U.S. Steel Building. Mercy. Mercy, mercy. We are everywhere. We're everywhere. Father Fish is everywhere. Psychedelic hippocampus. Hello, hello. Can I tell? How can I tell the sex of my Oscars? Swampy wants to know. There are two ways. There's the easy way, and there's the hard way. The hard way is to pick them up and look at the vents. A male will have two vents that look identical. A female will have one vent, the one in front, slightly larger than the other. That's the hard way. Almost never works. There's also a slight, but very slight, difference that you will see in the girth of the fish when the female is full of eggs. But that's almost minuscule. The most effective way, and the way that works 100% of the time with absolute accuracy. Now follow this carefully. It's very significant. when the eggs hatch, you know with absolute certainty you have a male and a female. So that's how you tell. When the eggs hatch, you have a pair. Congratulations. Oh, thunder. CO2 is best. Oh, here we go. I love this. I love this. By turning a bottle upside down and fill it while submerged, the bottle will rise above the waterline, and as the CO2 is absorbed, the bottle lowers to the waterline. You need a rock in it to keep it upright. A little trick practiced by the ocean, a shop in what did I do there? A shop in San Francisco, I believe. To do that requires having a tank, a CO2 tank, and you want to. You can use like a 2 liter bottle, but you want to kind of cut the top of it off to create more water surface, and you'll get CO2 dissolving in the water on a continuing basis. And then you go around once every day or two as it goes down and refill. It's a great system. I have not pulled with it here. I just haven't felt like I need to. Although it would be nice to have some wildly crazy growing out tanks. I've got pretty good growth, and I move a lot of plants in and out. By the way, I'm getting a large shipment today from Dustin. I'm getting 100 red plants. So real excited about that. Should be very interesting, and should be real pretty. I will do a video on that as soon as I get them in the tanks, and we'll have them available right away. There'll be 11 plants for $100 on Get Gills. They're going to be gone in a matter of days. They won't hold up. They won't last at all. Typically, they're gone by the weekend, but I'll hold some back for Get Gills customers. Thunder Aquatics. Yeah, it's a great system, and one that can be done at little or no expense. The cost of getting a little tank and having it filled with CO2. Oh, it's going back to the birds and the bees. Bateson says, how do you know, Logan's? My test does nitrates to use strips. Well, I missed something there. Logan's saying he's getting low ammonia readings, but no nitrates or nitrites. Hey, Frank. Lee says, Logan's, your dad should have taught you, how to ride a bike when you were 4. I can help. I used to compete in BMX stunt. I'll bet you did too. Holly Gibbs is posting Rose GoFundMe for Rhett, family that really does need help, and Rhett needs an expensive operation, which you're just going to have to get involved and try to find a way to help them get that. Yeah, Swampy Acres was a mod for someone, and they removed me. It's bizarre. I've sent notes to them. They're taking mods. They're taking mods away from channels. I don't know what in the world they're doing, whether it's a glitch in the algorithm or some dunderhead sitting in an office throwing darts against the wall. but it's getting crazy. I had a net increase last month of 20 subscribers and a net decrease, a net increase of 20, which means I had 120 people subscribe last month, and it only shows up as 20. I had 100 subscribers deleted in 1 month based on who knows what. Who knows? You send letters and ask for information, you never get an answer. We need some alternatives. All this online stuff. We need some alternatives. We need some more creative people creating systems that allow us to do what we're doing without the mighty hand of some overlord making arbitrary and capricious decisions about who we are and what we do. It's not fair and it's not right. Logan needs help cycling. Add sand, Logans. Add sand. Add sand, Logans. 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 Add sand. Add sand, Logans. Thunder. We did that CO2 thing. That was cool. Lee, thank you, Thunder. I was confused. How do I raise CO2? Well, all that without all that expensive equipment. It's good for the plant, right, and not harmful to the fish. Or should I stop messing with it? When I first met you, Lee, I struggled to make sure you got the very best advice possible and that I did not give you any kind of advice that could result in catastrophe. I feared catastrophe. Doesn't bother me anymore because you're going to do what you please. You're going to get Gollum in there and he's going to go messing with the fish. That's what it is. You got Gollum messing around with the fishies. CO2 would, I think, truthfully, that you would love the CO2 infusion. And what Thunder was it? Thunder, who was it? Yes, what Thunder suggested is a simple and effective system. Get a 2-liter bottle, weigh it down at the mouth with something, anything. Invert it and put it in the tank so it floats. Fill it with water so there's just a little bit of air in it, just enough to make it float. Now, what you have to spend money on is a tank to hold CO2. You can probably find one used somewhere. And then go to a welding shop and get the tank filled with CO2. You will also need some kind of a dispenser on the end of it, something on the end of a hose that'll allow you to release air. Then simply put that in the water, release it, and fill the jar. It'll last upwards of a week. and will gradually release CO2 into the tank. It's going to be at maximal levels. So you want to keep your bubblers going. But you will get utterly extraordinary plant growth. You'll love it. It'll go bonkers. And you'll be able to get some other kinds of plants going that are not doing perhaps as well now. It's a neat little system. Do I have any purple mystery snails? You wanted some purple mystery snails for your birthday, Roxanne. I don't know if I do or not. I sold a bunch yesterday that are kind of reddish brown. Not really purple, I think. More red and yellow rather than red and blue. I will try to get some purple. I know we can get black. Purple mystery snails. Let's see if we can get some. Catfish says, hello, Gnarly. High-rise window cleaner. What's the book you recommended? You asked me this yesterday. I'm not sure, but I think you're referring to Innis. This book was published in 1930. Tell you in a second. 35. First published in 1935 by, there he is, Dr. Innis. This edition is 1956. And it was published 38, 42, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 56. Published every year for 20 years. It's out of print. My grandmother gave me this copy when I graduated from high school. And if I can find it, in the back it says, to Buddy, Buddy is my family name, my nickname. Congratulations on graduating from City College, Granddad, Thomas G. Parks, Grandma, Caroline M. Parks, 1959. So that's probably the only thing I've kept through all those years is my copy of Innis. And it really did form the foundation of my hobby. It's a book my grandmother was well aware of. She had one, a much earlier edition, and she bought one for me. Hers disappeared. I never found it when she passed. Sad to say. But Innis talks about dirted tanks. Holly, 3220 would equals 11. Who, if you would please hit the like, would be appreciated. Holly's saying there are 11 people on here who have not hit the like button. Thank you, Holly. Kind of you. Thunder, the setup is about $150. Yeah, if you want to buy the whole kit to do CO2, or you can do it on the cheap. Now, there's a cheaper way to do CO2 that is also every bit as effective. And that is you buy small bottles, the little drink bottles of soda water. Soda water. It's CO2 injected in water. And you pour half of that into your tank per 20 gallons. Half per 20 gallons twice a week. That gives you CO2 levels adequate to increase plant growth. And it works perfectly effectively. I have members of our club They've been doing it for years and they love it. That's the cheapest, perhaps, and the simplest way to go. So there are a lot of ways to get CO2 in your tank uh, without buying all of the fancy dancy equipment and supplies and so forth. You can also make CO2 with yeast culture. It's a little more complicated, but again, doable. Patrick has the book. The written Mr. Santa say, KCB, Father Fish. My well water is GH7, KH12, so I guess it's all. It's probably a shallow well. Uh, Probably is giving you essentially surface water, rainwater. Softener makes it drop to 5, but adding salt is still no good. pH is 7.6 or higher. Um, yeah, carbonates, calcium will kick the carbonates up. Patrick said he's had his copy of the book for 30 years. How long have I had mine? 50 years, 60 years, since I was 20. 60 years I've had that book. Roxanne, we did that. We did KCB's well water. Um, yeah, you sound like the guy in Australia who has very soft well water. It's obviously surface water. Most of the water here in this country, deep well water, comes through limestone deposits. So that's where it gets the hardness, the carbonates, lime. You can add lime to water. Time 9 quarter up. Lee, what a beautiful gift. You, Sir Father Fish, invented dirted tanks, so that makes you a living time traveler. Do you know Doctor Who? I don't like Doctor Who. He is not a friend of mine. I think he's a bit of a vagabond. He he simply goes around stirring up trouble and then leaves. Don't have a lot of truck with Doctor Who, thank you very much. Whitefish salad, just got the book on eBay. Good job, Whitefish. What you don't know the publication date, I guess, yet. Logan's ordered 2 battery powered air pumps for hurricane season. Good job. Make sure you got a box full of batteries. KCB is in North Brevard County, Florida. Excellent. Gnarly and GT. I am going to take a 2-minute break. My medication is driving a hole through me. Be back momentarily. Entertain yourselves. You're really good at it. Alrighty, I'm back. Whitefish Salad said he just got the book on eBay. We did read that, I think. Oh, 55 edition. Oh, that's older than mine. Got it for 15 bucks. Wow, that's great. Right, precisely, Lee. Precisely. Doctor Who and I don't get along at all. Someday I will tell you what he thinks of dirted tanks. This Doctor Who friend of yours. ACB. Oh, talking about storms. Florida storms. All right. And move over here. Oh dear. Where's Catfish? Is Catfish still here? I need to go all the way back up. Oh, okay. Wanted to make sure he had a wrench. Mag Guy. 44 Mag Guy. We're adding some wrenches here, guys. Let's see. Hat trick. Roxanne. Cassie B. Dwight Foot. There we go. If you're not a moderator yet, just hang in there. You will be. Juan Chandler is here. Hello, Juan. Oh, we got to make Juan a moderator. He's been around a long time. Lee, can I put a bottle of carbonated water into the tank and let it dissolve off? Put an open bottle in the tank. Back up. Here's what you do. There are two ways to do this. We kind of conflated them and made it confusing. You can float a bottle, an empty bottle like a 2-liter bottle or smaller, upside down, and then get a tank that dispenses CO2 and fill it periodically, like weekly or so, with CO2, and it will gradually dissolve off, and the bottle will sink as the CO2 dissolves. That's one way. Another way of achieving the same result is to buy small bottles, not the big bottle. You want the little tiny drink bottles of carbonated water, soda water, pure soda water. Half of that will supply CO2 to 20 gallons for 3 days. So pour half of it into the tank. Pour the whole thing in if you want to. Half of it for 20 gallons. Lasts 3 days. Now, the reason you want to get the little one is because if you get a big one and you pour some off, then all the CO2 goes out of the water. And you want the CO2 in to stay in the water so you can put it in the tank. Anyway, that's the second way to deliver CO2 and the simplest possible way and cheap. It's very cheap to do that. Costs you about 10 cents a dose. Logan's is getting a custom made 180. Custom made 180 is a Tropheus tank. I make a bunch of Tropheus happy. Lee, how do I raise CO2 without all that expensive equipment? We did that. We did purple mystery snails. Somewhere is Big J, who I missed. And Catfish is saying hello to Big J. Okay. We're getting down to it. All right, here's Lee. Doctor Who told me 1 year ago yesterday that he was going to unsubscribe from you. I'd never heard of you. It's his loss, but I guess he can go back and stop himself. Actually, he was lying. He subscribed to me tomorrow. That's when he subscribed. He did it tomorrow. So going back would not unsubscribe him. Now, what we're probably going to find is that by the time tomorrow comes, he will have seen this conversation and unsubscribed from us today. So we'll never see it. It's hopeless. He lies all the time. Doctor Who is a complete fraudster. He's a liar and a thief and a troublemaker, a vagabond and a rogue. And I hate him. I hate him. Oh, Roxanne has a blue wrench and well deserved. You bet. Rohan, do we need to quarantine plants with potassium permanganate before moving them indoors? You know, if you're out collecting plants from a roadside ditch that has an oil slick, is fetid with rotten carcasses from roadkill, is a fog with flies and otherwise foul, and you're collecting plants from there, number one, you need your head examined. Number two, yeah, you better treat them. If, on the other hand, you are visiting pristine lakes, ponds, swamps, ditches, creeks, and other bodies of water that smell sweet, are crystal clear and lovely. Fish are swimming about, plants are growing up through the surface. Then please don't poison the plants with chemicals before putting them into your tank. The blessing of that little sweet body of water can be brought into your tank by the simple expedient of a handful of plants. Do it. Just do it. Good morning, Jennifer. Prime Time Aquatics. Oil slick, Jennifer says. Rohan, it's just in an outdoor tub. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, Rohan. Don't worry about it. It'll have lots of good stuff in it. Won't be a problem at all. What you really need to do is bring life into your tank from nature. So don't look for ways to kill it. Look for ways to encourage it. Peter Almajed. Should I cap the dirt with gold filtered sand or pea gravel? Which one is better? Pea gravel is fine. It needs to be double the depth. So a minimum of 4 inches of pea gravel or 2 inches of pool filter sand. Yeah, right. And we're running out of time. TJ Kennedy. Hello, hello. Oil Slick is saying, prior to 3 months ago, I couldn't keep a goldfish alive. Now, thanks to Father Fish Aquarium Co-op and LRB, I'm keeping a variety of plants without difficulty. Thank you, Father. You're very welcome. And Corey and Lucas, thank you as well. Gnarly, spot tree. Spot tree, funny. Lisa, hello, Lisa. Good morning. Spot treat the areas with a spray bottle of peroxide. Roxanne, thanks for the almighty wrench. You're very welcome. You earned it. Lee, it's the hottest day this year on the island. 95 degrees Fahrenheit. It's lovely. Bright blue, clear skies. I'm indoor watching Sir Father Fish. That is dedication and loyalty for you, Gandalf. Well, you could be out sweating. You could be visiting the aquarium or fishing in the sea. So I honor you, dear Bilbo Ivy. If you get down South Florida, if I can get down to South Florida, I'll surely visit you, Cassie. Be delightful. Will be delightful to have you. Patrick is still here. A Blackmore Fryer now 8 weeks, Roxanne. Still mostly gold, but are just starting to get the black hue on the tops of their backs. Really nice. Marky, the name of the book. Oh, the name of the book is what's going on here? Oh, I gotta move. Exotic aquarium fishes with one of my favorite tetras. It is foundational. Thank you, Bader, for your time joining in. Oh, okay. TJ Kennedy losing the battle against beard algae in one of your tanks. Add sand, add an inch of sand. Your nitrates are up. You need to get the nitrates down. You do partial water change, slow way down on feeding, add an inch of sand, um, put nitrate sponge in if you want to. That and potassium, they'll both kind of come out together. Add sand and do a water change. All right, we're gonna go to the bottom. Sorry about everything I missed, guys. Lee, we're saving up for a holiday. It's Sue's idea. She's always wanted to try a seaplane and an airboat. She says we're going to Florida, and we go, oh my God, we can come see you if you will have us. I will behave, and don't you dare, and do please come. It would be a thoroughgoing delight to have you and Sue visit my little shop. So, with that, we're going to sign off. Swampy Acres, where can go my channel lesson to the stream? Aren't we all? Rohan says gases are a non-issue if you use 2 inches of sand. Pretty much the case. God bless you all. Nice to be with you. Sorry for what I missed. Maybe didn't miss a lot. Take care for now. See you in the morning. Tomorrow's Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow morning. And I will try to get a video today once I get all these red plants in. That should be pretty. Look forward to it. Bye for now.